Why do humans gain greater wisdom from failure? Are you afraid of failure, or do you just not understand it yet? We live in an age that celebrates success. Brilliant results and rapid achievements have become the standard of our time. Consequently, failure is often treated like a record that must be hidden. It is viewed as a mark of shame. On social media, only moments of success are edited and uploaded. People fall into the illusion that everyone is thriving. But reality is the opposite. In every field, history, industry, science, and art, true innovation was born from a series of failures. History shows us that progress is not a straight line. It is a winding path built upon the lessons of the past. In the realm of science, every experiment that doesn't work is a step closer to the one that finally does. Artists, too, understand that the masterpiece is often the result of countless discarded drafts and failed attempts at expression. The problem is not failure itself, but rather the way we choose to interpret it. How do you see your setbacks? Most people see failure as the end. They view it as a final judgment on their abilities and their future. However, some people choose to read failure as information. To them, it is a valuable data point for their next move. The key insight is clear. Failure is not a result. It is data. Wisdom comes from the ability to interpret that data. Success leaves results which are often static. But failure leaves behind a structure, a map of what didn't work and why. The moment you understand why you failed, you transform. You become a being capable of reading patterns beyond simple experience. Therefore, it is not the person who has failed many times who has wisdom, but the one who has interpreted failure deeply. Consider an inventor who fails in thousands of experiments. The world may see a string of losses and lost time. People around him might tell him to give up, claiming that his efforts are futile and that success is impossible. But he says, "I haven't failed. I've simply discovered thousands of ways that do not work." This is a profound shift. This is not just simple optimism. It is a mindset that views failure as raw data for a larger structural problem. For him, failure was not a matter of emotion or personal worth. It was strictly a matter of understanding the structure. Let's look at another example. Consider an entrepreneur whose business venture has completely failed and collapsed. Many people define him as a failure. They see the closed doors and the empty desks as the end of his story. But instead of mourning, he analyzes customer behavioral data. He rereads the flow of the market with a cold, clear eye. Based on that hard-earned experience, he starts his second challenge. This time, he creates an entirely new market. It is the same failure, but for some, it is the end. And for others, it is a brand new beginning. Which one are you? The core message is clear. Failure is not something to be avoided at all costs. It is something to be interpreted. Wisdom does not come from success. It is forged when you understand the underlying structure through your failures. And this difference creates an overwhelming gap over time. The one who learns from failure pulls far ahead of the rest. The changes you will experience are definite. First, you will develop an attitude that analyzes failure without fear. Second, you will develop a perspective that sees experience as data, rather than just a fleeting or painful emotion. Third, you will gain the ability to discover patterns within repetitive problems, allowing you to master your circumstances. Remember this, success leaves results, but failure leaves direction. Only those who understand failure can design success. Let's be honest, if you don't fail, your life might be comfortable, but you will remain a legacy version of a human. Without the update that comes from failure, you stay stuck in an old version of yourself, unable to meet the new world. Expand your thinking through the humanities. I hope that through this reflection, your soul will continue to grow for a long time. If you found this masterclass valuable, please subscribe and like this video to support our intellectual journey together. I always wish you the best in your journey of growth and discovery. May you always find the wisdom hidden in your path. I am James Ko. For further inquiries or collaborations, please feel free to reach out to me at my email address, k9039119@gmail.com. Connect with us using hashtags like wisdom of failure, self-improvement, humanities, growth mindset, challenge spirit, and AI era. Search for terms such as how to overcome failure, characteristics of growing people, philosophical thinking, self-growth strategy, challenge and learning, and conditions of success. Let us delve deeper into how we refine our internal process after a setback. It requires a high level of self-honesty and grit. Persistence is not just doing the same thing over and over. It is adjusting your grip every time you slip. That is true grit. Comfort can be a trap. It prevents the friction necessary for growth. Failure provides that friction, pushing us toward evolution. Philosophers have long argued that the unexamined life is not worth living. An unexamined failure is a wasted opportunity for wisdom. Failure updates your internal map of reality. It shows you where the cliffs are and where the hidden paths lie. Adopt the power of yet. I haven't succeeded yet. This simple word transforms a dead end into a journey in progress. In the AI era, technical skills are common. What will distinguish you is your ability to derive unique wisdom from human experience. Machines can process data, but humans can derive meaning. Failure is the furnace where human meaning and wisdom are forged. When you analyze the structure of your failure, you are essentially learning the mechanics of the world around you. I invite you now to reflect on your most recent setback. Don't look at the pain, look at the data it left behind. Use that data to draw a new blueprint for your life. This is how you begin to design your ultimate success. Wisdom is heavy. It carries the weight of lived experience. But it is also the only thing that truly anchors us in a changing world. In my books, I often explore the intersection of economics and art. Both fields require a deep understanding of structural failure. Strategy is an art form. It involves anticipating moves and learning from the ones that didn't go as planned. Understanding the final game of history and business requires us to look past the scoreboard and into the strategy itself. Your future is determined by a single decision structure. Refine that structure by analyzing every failure you encounter. To control your fear, you must master the principles of reality. Failure is simply reality giving you a necessary correction. From Plato to Picasso, the greats knew that beauty and truth are often found in the wreckage of what came before. What do we leave behind after the conquest of our goals? Only the wisdom that we have integrated into our souls. A true masterclass is not about memorizing facts. It's about changing the way you see the world and your place in it. Feeding the intellectual soul requires a diet of deep thought and courageous action. Do not be afraid to fail and grow. As we conclude this exploration, remember that growth is a lifetime journey. Failure is your most faithful companion on this road. It keeps you honest, it keeps you sharp, and it ensures that you are always moving toward a better version of yourself. Optimizing your life is not about avoiding errors. It is about integrating the lessons those errors were meant to teach you. I invite you to explore these concepts further in my published works, where I dive deep into the decision structures of the greats. Success is a process of constant refinement. Let your failures be the ink with which you write your future chapters. In the grand scheme of the universe, our failures are small, but the wisdom we derive from them is infinite. Thank you for joining this masterclass. I am Dr. James Ko, and it has been an honor to share these insights with you. The future belongs to those who can learn, unlearn, and relearn. Let your failure be your most powerful teacher. By mastering the humanities, you master the core of what it means to be human. Go forth and fail forward into greatness. Once again, if you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and share it with those who seek wisdom in their own lives. I am Jongmoon Ko, also known as James Ko. I look forward to our next intellectual encounter in the videos to come. For contact and updates, please use my email address, k90391198@gmail.com. Use hashtags like Wisdom of Failure to stay connected. Search for terms such as self-growth strategy and challenge and learning to dive deeper. Knowledge is your greatest asset. I wish you a life full of deep wisdom and successful updates. Goodbye for now and keep thriving.